Good morning, welcome back to our media day. Our next school is, of course, Alexandria High School. Alexandria competes in 5A Region 6. They're head coached by Todd Ginn. Today, Coach Ginn has brought with him senior lineman Braxton Tucker and also senior quarterback Javez McGee. Coach Ginn, we'll start with your opening comments about the season and talk about these two boys.
Yeah, it's good to be here. Such a good thing for our county once again to have this thing, and it's such a good opportunity to be doing it where we can actually see most of you today. So without the mask and everything, and just going forward into this year, I know that's what I want to talk about. So brought these two guys with me. Javez McGee is really good athlete, really big leader for our team. He's going to play quarterback for us, and then he's going to play some wide receiver as well. Just find ways to get him the ball. Super athletic, super good kid, super hard worker. On the defensive side, he plays cornerback, plays both ways. He's going to be a vital part of what we're going to do this year. The guy on the left is Braxton Tucker, and just really came to light last year into became a defensive lineman that was a terror for folks to block. And just two guys that I've noticed through since we finished the season last year, and just I've had my eyes on these two seniors. We have such a really good senior class this time, just as far as individuals and players both. But these two guys, as far as just becoming leaders and doing things the right way, and just pushing us forward, being competitive and doing the things that we want to accomplish and leading this summer. So as it was hard to narrow down who was going to come today, because there's so many deserving individuals, I think, on our team this time. But these two guys, when it finally came down to it, I talked to the coaching staff, and we decided that these two guys are two of our leaders that we're going to build our team around this year. I think everybody knows, as far as our region, in our schedule, same as last year, but just very competitive. We start off with Jacksonville and then go right into Center Point, and that's a huge game right off the bat for our region to start off. So we've got to be ready to go right from the get-go, and then we've also got to be mature enough that if things don't go our way early in the season, I think we have an opportunity when it's all said and done. When we get down week 8, 9, and 10, we're going to be there to get in the mix and to have a chance to be really good down the stretch and on into the postseason, I think, this year. So really looking forward to things. Really looking forward to these guys having a senior season and leading the way they're going to lead this time.
All right, so at this time, we'll turn it over to questions. Joe Medley.
Okay, we'll go Joe and then back to you.
Todd, actually a couple of off-season questions, or a question and a follow-up. I know you've had an interesting off-season. What are your recollections of the day of the tornado, and how is rebuilding going?
That was. If you've never had a tornado come right over your house, it's they say it's like a train or whatever, but I would compare it more to a shot back to an eagle. That's kind of what it felt like. My family and my youngest brother Will's family, I built my house with a basement simply because we live in what I consider Tornado Alley right there, in Wellington, between Alexandria and 204 there, and it just happened to, Will and I looked out the back door and looked out over the back deck, and my wife said, "James Spank said it was right there." And I said, James probably don't know what he's talking about, which is crazy. You don't say that, But I said, "Will, we better go on down." And within a couple of minutes, that thing, like I said, it's just crazy how much time slows down in that moment. And the aftermath of it, we were all good to go, and anything that's gone can be rebuilt, and that it's in the process of being rebuilt. But you just appreciate life so much more. Going through the last year, the COVID stuff and that part of our life, and then the tornado thing on top of it, in off season, it just puts things in perspective. It just it just shows that football is something we need to be, we're really, really blessed, sports in general, to have and to play a game. But when it all comes down to it, life is bigger now, but it teaches us some very, very important parts of life. Just like, when you walk outside in that tornado and you look and everything's gone, except, luckily my house, but a lot of those folks, lost lives and everything. And it just puts things in perspective real quickly.
Yeah, follow up.
And then another off-season question, transfers have become a big story, and it was this off-season, and just your thoughts about the way that's developed in high school football, the way it seems to be imitating the transfer portal in college football maybe, and what should, if anything, be done about it?
God, Joe, good gracious. What a question, man. It's out of control. I mean, let's just get real, it's out of control. It's gonna continue to get out of control. Until the AHSAA steps up and does something about it. You either have pride in where you're at, to play where you're at, or you don't. And, and we say, well, the kid does this for whatever reason, and, we're never gonna throw money at a kid here, you know what I'm saying? And, unfortunately, that happens at a lot of other places. And, do you blame the kid or whatever for that? That's a tough question, Joe. I mean, that's a really, really tough question. Did it, affect our team? Sure, it affected our team. Do we have the guys in place to be very, very good this year? Heck, yes, we do. Just to make a simple answer to that, you're either with us or you're not. If you don't want to be with us, then we don't want you with us anyways. So I feel like high school ball is so much more important. College, I feel like if we, because I always tell these guys if we were to win 2 games this year, they would think it's terrible. I would think it's terrible because we got a pretty good team. But in high school ball, when it comes down to it, it's so much more. When these kids get to college, that's when, I tell these guys a lot of times. I told a guy the other day that picked up for practice. I said, you better go ahead and take advantage of the choices that you have right now. For instance, you've got a choice to play football, basketball, baseball right now. In 3 or 4 years, when you get out of high school, that choice may be gone. You may not have that choice ever again. And I'm sitting here 43, I lost track of years, but 43, and I say, man, a lot of the choices, I wish I could go back and have the choice to play football again. You know what I mean? And that kind of stuff. So, these guys just take advantage of the choices that you have, and like I said, I just wish, and I think we're past that point. Until this stuff gets reined in, you're gonna continue to see it. But we're gonna take a lot of water off the duck's back. We're gonna move on, and we're gonna push toward putting these guys that are beside me and the other guys on our team up on the pedestal to have them a chance to succeed.
A follow-up question to the players. When you have a departure on the team of a starter, a strong starter, tell us what's positive that's come out of that from a team standpoint. Talk about that.
I think a lot of guys realized they had to step up and not let just one guy kind of carry our team. But, there's 10 other guys on the field. We all got to do our part. So, like Coach said, we got a lot of athletes. I think a lot of people will step up this year and we're going to be pretty good.
That's good.
Well, I'll say we have a big group of seniors coming in. Now, a lot of them don't have the experience being starters. And some of us do. And they got to compete for a position. It's not going to be given to them, of course. And then we have some good upcoming classes coming up, and we're preparing them to be ready to play. So,
all right, another question back here.
Coach, you shared something with me that was very special last year when you and I were talking, and it was a quote that your dad told you when you were playing, and that quote was, "If you play till the grass turns brown, you've had a pretty successful season."
Yeah.
Well, you did that last year, so talk to me about how vital that is with this team moving forward.
You know, that's so big, as far as, you know, I can remember Dad saying that exact thing, you know, and then we used to have what's called a turkey shoot. If you were there playing on Thanksgiving, you've really accomplished something. But those extra games are so vital, you know, because, the main thing I think is it's not the extra time as much, it's the extra confidence. And man, so many teams get beat before games ever start. I mean, y'all see it every day in what y'all do. And confidence is such a huge thing. And high school athletics, hey, watch a college team, watch a pro team fall apart. You know what I mean? It's everybody talks about, well, they got the momentum. No, they've got the confidence. You know, confidence up, down, momentum, whatever. It's all about confidence. And that's our, you know, my job and our coaching staff's job and any coach's job is to do things, get kids to do what they don't want to do. Get them in shape. No kid wants to run. Not many of them want to run, but you better be in shape, especially in Alabama and August. And then do stuff enough times, repeatedly enough, that kids become so confident in what they're doing. And you know, I think sometimes my dad got a bad, and I may too. He got a bad vibe going out. People thought my dad was real cocky, but if you've ever talked to my father, you just knew he was super duper prepared. So he was confident because preparation had led to whatever he was doing. And that's, you know, I take that away from my father. And these two guys sitting beside me, you'll see them. They're not big talkers, but when they get out on the field, they're so confident. And that's what you got to build in kids. If you want to have a winning program, you got to have confident kids, you know, and then pass that on further in life. If you want to have a successful person in society, you got to have a confidence to you that whatever you're doing, your job that you're doing right now, y'all know the job you're doing right now, if you're not confident as a journalist or whatever, then it's going to go crap quick. So you've got to, and you got to prepare and do the things the right way to gain that confidence, and that's a big deal.
All right, this question is for the players. Knowing that Coach Ginn chose you to come today, how does that make you feel?
I feel great. I'm a leader. I think I'm a leader, and we have to get more players to lead. Because I'm gonna say what Coach said about the confidence. We have some players that lack confidence in our team because they don't have no experience playing, and they think when Coach scream at them, then it all goes down.
I don't scream, Joe.
He's screaming. Screaming don't mean nothing. It's just you just need to play ball. So.
I guess Coach saw me and Javed's hard work. We try to set an example for everybody else on the team. And yeah, I guess that's one.
Question.
Yeah, this is for the players, and then maybe Coach Ginn react to it after they answer this. But last year, you guys kind of got this three-headed monster thing going, and Javaris, what's it going to be this year? And did Coach like it when he was reading it in the paper and seeing it on TV and stuff like that?
I came up with that name, but it really didn't mean nothing. I just, we lost Ronnie, and now we have a new player that came in. And I think we still have a three-headed monster with me, Ryan, and Antonio. And I think if they see a 1 and 2 and number 3 on the field, it's going to be a long night for other teams. So.
Three-headed monster. I guess depends on if that monster has teeth or not. You know what I mean?
What would your dad say about it, Todd?
Kids are kids. We like to have fun. Chavez is a light-hearted guy, and if he came up, I didn't know he came up with it, but I mean, I tell him all the time, in a very loving nature. It goes back to, I yell. We all yell as coaches. If you're not yelling, a lot of times, especially practice, you try to remain calm in the game. But you better get these kids motivated. And one way is, that's part of coaching. But three-headed monster, I tell them all the time. Know when to have fun, know when to joke around, know when to get serious. And Chavez, Javez will be the first to tell you. We can talk about three-headed monsters all day long and how this and that and other, but when it gets go time, he'll tell you, there's a, 11-headed monster out there. You know what I mean? There's 11-headed monster out there, and then when you look at the big scheme of things, there's a 66, 67-headed monster out there. When you look at, our whole team, and then you just keep pushing forward. Our community's so good and loves sports so much, so there's a whole Alexandria monster out there.
Follow up on that, last year, supposedly we were under restrictions for attendance at games, based on, 33% of your stadium capacity, whatever it was. Talk about the folks in the valley, how they can't wait to fill that place back up, Lou Scale Stadium.
It's a special place. People talk a lot all the time about, what we're gonna do at Alexandria, we're 5A stadium. There's some things that's gotta be done at our stadium. There's a lot of stuff that's gotta be done, but let's don't ever lose the magic of what is Lou Scale Stadium. People show up. I'll put our folks turning out against anybody around. I mean, y'all know. Come to a Friday night and see who's got bigger crowds than we do on our home side. Now, forget the visitor side. That doesn't depend on who you play. You know what I mean, and how they travel. But go with us to games. Strodell's over there. He's with us. Go with us to games. See the folks that go with us, and then come to the Valley on Friday night and see how many people are there. And that's just a credit to these guys that play. We play hard. We hit you in the mouth. And as long as I'm here, that's gonna continue to happen, win or lose,
As we start to wind down, we got another question.
Yeah, Todd, let's talk some more tradition. We were in Talladega yesterday for their media day event, and concession stands came up. And of course, Talladega County Central is well known for Howes Cove, but there was this debate that kind of started about Howes Cove or the Valley Dog. What do you think?
Valley Dog is the best there is.
The Valley Dog, the Valley Dog is so good, like you said, come on now. But there's so many fake Valley sauces out there. Get somebody that knows the real deal, you know what I mean? And, come on, grill a hot dog and put some Valley sauce on it. Just tell them to close their eyes. I don't care if they like hot dogs or not. They'll like it.
As we'll take, one last question.
Danny, I got a question. I gotta ask one to each player. And that is, Tucker, I'm gonna start with you. The first question I wanna ask is, how does it feel being a kid that leads your region for the last 2 years and being held? I mean, you get held every play. I watch it on radio
Every play.
Every play. And you still make time. How's that feel?
If I got two guys holding on me, there's somebody who's not getting blocked. So I know I'm confident with everybody else on the team. It's gonna come up.
If you're not getting held, you're not any good. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, because I know when we went to St. Clair County, I watched the guard and tackle get in a fight because they couldn't block you, and they were trying to hold you, and one would get mad because the other kid wasn't holding you enough. I mean, it's just, you got a lot to look forward to this year, okay? Javez, my question for you is this. What is it, do you think, inside you that keeps you? Because I've watched you since, like with Tucker, since the 7th grade. I've watched you on the basketball court and been watching on the football field. When you have the ball in your hand, everything else is chaotic on the field. But where you're at, it's a sense of calm. And where is your mind when you're running point? Because for me, when you play point guard at Alexandria, that's a special position. That's almost like being the center for the Lakers. When you're the point guard at Alexandria, you're the quarterback at Alexandria. There's a sense of calm around you on the field. Where is your mind at when you're playing? How do you separate yourself from the other 21 guys on the field and stay calm when all that's going on?
I think it comes at practice when Coach Will, he talked to me a lot, tell me not to worry about all the other stuff going around. to play ball with me. And of course, I'm not the biggest guy, but I rely on my athleticism. And they don't look at me to run the ball. And I'm gonna run first guy. So I'll just say that.
One final question, and then Coach, you can wrap it up. This is for the players, Jabez and Braxton. How does it feel to put the orange and black on, knowing that there's been men for half a century or longer that give everything they had on the field, the tradition in the Valley of playing Valley Cup football? Do you wear that with honor? I mean, how does it feel to know when you're out on the field on Friday night under the lights and you got the orange and black on? Talk about that.
Yeah, 100%. It feels. There's no other school I would rather play for. Besides my dad, my whole family went to Alexandria, and yeah, it feels. I wear it with pride for sure.
That's good, Jabez.
I'll say, yeah, it makes a big impact. And I don't, my parents ain't go to Alexandria, but they moved me to the school, and that's probably the best decision they made, because the community come out and support, and that's all I love that. They come support me, and it makes me play better. So.
Okay, Coach, we'll wrap it up with your final comments.
Oh, well, we just appreciate once again, so much, that y'all have this thing and put it together. And, it's so, once again, we got a chance to go out in this fall and to play a game, once again, stress game that we love so much, and get a chance to compete. And, just look forward to, I know these players look forward to the opportunity. I know our whole team looks forward to the opportunity of, hopefully having a good season. But most importantly, they're going to be, you can hear both of these guys talking, they're going to be prepared. If you're hiring, you're going to hire these two guys, and that's the way we feel about our, a lot of the guys on our team. And that's what we're going to keep doing. We're just going to keep working. We're going to worry about the people we have in-house. And we just appreciate y'all for having us.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you, players. Next up would be White Plains.